All right, folks. Well, thanks for tuning in. My name is Truman, aka Kinnick North, as most of you on X probably know me. Um, just try to bear with me. I don't claim to be a professional by any means. You probably hear me drop a few F bombs and whatnot along the way. Um, Never done anything like this before. I'm an old head. Just the idea of even standing here talking to my phone feels a little weird. Just something that I thought would be kind of fun. As most of you know, been a lifelong basketball fan, lifelong Hawkeye fan, um, and then going into uh, this coming fall, just thought it'd be kind of cool to do a preview um, of this upcoming year, 2006, 2007 Iowa Hawkeye women's basketball. I feel like I know my shit pretty well when it comes to basketball. I certainly can't remember all the stats, so I do have my cheat sheets here with me. So let's see. First of all, this upcoming season, holy shit, I'm excited. Looking at just the roster, and with the transfer portal at the end of last year, I don't think I've ever seen, well, most of us have never seen things to NIL and the transfer portal. I've never seen a college roster switch just from one season to the next as dramatically as what I'm seeing here. Um, Out of our entire team last year, this is it. This is our returning core. We've got 5 players: Chit Chat, Taylor, Ava, Journey, and Layla. And these are the new additions that we've got coming in this year. Danny Carnegie, McKenna Woliczko, Amara Whiting, Jocelyn Faison, Ellis Gromdahl, and Bria Medina. I should have switched that. It's Bria, not Bree. Looking at the lineup and who I believe would be the starting 5, this is where it gets kind of interesting. Chit Chat, obviously, is going to be our starting point guard. Danny Carnegie coming in, should be a starter right off the bat. Ava, obviously. I do believe McKenna Woliczko will be a starter right away on day 1. And that leads me to the question marks, who that 5th starter is going to be. Just looking at the players that we know, Chit Chat, junior this year, 5'4", one hell of a year last year, transferring, coming here from Georgia Tech. She was 3rd team All Big Ten last year. Actually led the Big Ten in 3-point percentage. I have it written down. She was 46% from 3. Such a scrappy little booger. The way she's able to drive the lane, kick the ball back out, great at assists. I'm really excited to see the inside-outside game continue to develop even more between Chit Chat and Ava. And then looking at Danny Carnegie, she'll be a junior this year, 5'9". In the transfer portal this last offseason, she was the 6th highest or 6th rated player coming out of the transfer portal. First team All SEC last year, where she averaged 18 points, 5 boards, 3 assists. What I really like about Danny, a lot like Kelsey Mitchell in a way, she's just a pure scorer. She's great around the perimeter, but she can also take the ball to the hole. She's one of those players where if the offense is stalling, you can get her the ball and she's just going to say, fuck it, I'll go get us a bucket. So that inside-outside game with Danny and Ava should also be pretty interesting to watch. Let's see, we have Ava, of course. Ava, can't believe she's a junior already this year. Seems like she just got here. She's going to be a junior. We all know, 6'5". Last year, she was 1st team All Big Ten. 612 points last year. That was the 3rd most ever by a sophomore in program history. 9 double-doubles. And then last year, she averaged 18 a game on 65% shooting, one of the tops in the nation. It's going to be interesting this year. She made such a big leap going from her freshman to sophomore year. It's going to be interesting this year because teams know that she's someone that they're going to have to develop their defensive game plan against. So even if she can make a little bump going from sophomore to junior year, she's going to be 1st team All-American. There we go. There's the wild card, McKenna Woliczko. I really do believe she's going to be a starter right out of the bat. 5-star recruit out of high school. She was the number 6, I believe, overall recruit in the nation, which is the 2nd highest recruit Iowa's ever had, behind some other gal that we know. it's interesting because this is the second year in a row that Iowa has a 5-star recruit coming in. We all know what happened last year with Addie Beadle. I wish Addie nothing but success in Wisconsin, I think. She was such a weird one because I know Jan gave Addie probably more minutes than what Addie actually deserved based on her production. But getting off of Addie Beadle, McKenna Woliczko, freshman as we know, she's 6'2", 5-star recruit. Let's see. Just in watching some highlights on YouTube, and if you haven't gone onto YouTube to check out some of McKenna Woliczko highlight videos, I really encourage you to. It's something special. She's a great defender, great rebounder. She plays very physical, quick as hell. And when I think about that, super fast, super physical, great rebounder and defender, those are a lot of Hannah Stuelke traits. And coupled with the fact that McKenna is actually the same height as Hannah, they're both 6'2", but then, and I don't want this to sound like I'm hating on Hannah by any means. I loved Hannah, the 4 years she gave us. But McKenna also brings something to the table that Hannah never did, and that is some offensive versatility. Once again, if you watch the highlights, McKenna likes to get the ball in the wing, and she plays face up. She faces her defender, she faces the basket. Great perimeter shooter, quick as hell getting into the lane. So what she can bring offensively, once again, I'm not hating on Hannah, but so much more than what Hannah brought on the offensive end, where Hannah used to play with her back to the basket all the time. Don't get me started on free throws. And let's see. So that's McKenna. We've got, oh, there we go. Who's the 5th starter going to be? Where I put the question marks. And this is where it's going to get tough. These are the 3 players where I think they're going to be jockeying for position for that 5th and final starter spot. And that doesn't mean that Jan's going to have to pick one and that's who the 5th starter is going to be, obviously, all year. It could be rotated in depending on the matchups, who they're playing that night. But I really think these are the 3 players that are going to be jockeying for position for that starting spot. So Taylor Stremlow, Journey Houston, and Amara Whiting. Layla Hayes. I should go back, actually. Let's talk about these a little bit. Stremlow is going to be a junior too. Once again, it feels weird to be a junior already. 5'10". Last year she had 146 assists, and that was the 6th most ever by a sophomore in program history. Another interesting stat, some of you might remember hearing about this last year. In the games that Stremlow started, the Hawkeyes were 16-2 when she was in there as a starter. One thing that I really like about Strem's game, fairly decent perimeter shooter, great passer. She is someone who can get in there and she can have a positive impact on the game without having to shoot the ball. And you've already got Ava down low, you're going to be kicking it out to Danny Carnegie, who is a primary scorer. I think Carnegie and Ava both averaged right around 17 points a game last year. So that's a lot of scoring just from those 2 players. And Stremlow is someone who can get in there and have an impact without having to shoot the ball. So I like that a lot. Journey is one of my favorites. I would argue she might be my favorite actual player on the team. One of the things last year, she played all 34 games last season, and I tracked it quite a bit last year, production per minute. So I know she didn't get a lot of minutes in there, but if you looked at the production that she put out there in the per minute that she played, I want to say the 2 biggest production per minute players last year was Ava Hayden and Journey Houston. Journey is 6 feet tall. As I said, she's a sophomore this year, and she plays so much bigger than what she really is. Her aggressiveness, her defense, and especially her rebounding. I was just blown away last year. For someone who's 6 feet tall, she could rebound like a motherfucker. It's all about positioning. She knows how to keep her defender off, to go get the board, and she just has a nose for the ball. So excited to see if she can get a big step forward this year. I'd like to see her get starting type minutes. And then that brings us to Amari Whiting. Admittedly, don't know much about Amari. Had to look her up, had to kind of go through her stats. She is, I think, one of, I'm going on that one already. Lily, where are you? Oh, I gotta find her. Do I not even have her? Oh, she's right there, Amari Whiting. Good. Amari, she's one of 2 seniors. That's it. 2 seniors on the team, and I believe both seniors are transfer players this year. 5'10". Last year she started all, I think it was 34 games at Oklahoma State. Averaged 10 points, so modest. 10 points, 6 boards, 3 assists. I know when she came in, Jan was really praising her high IQ player. I think the biggest thing about her, though, once again, if you watch any highlights on YouTube about Amari, she is one hell of a defensive player. She is a defensive stopper. So I think about having lost Kylie Feuerbach at the end of last year to graduation. Amari's going to step up there, and she's going to be that player who takes on the other team's best players. She's, probably the best defender on the team. Now we go to the next one. Thank you for bearing with me. Layla Hayes. Almost don't know where to begin with Layla. Love her to death. You listen to her talk, she just seems like the greatest person ever, and I worry that she might be kind of the forgotten woman on this team. Kind of like she was last year. I don't know how much more progress we're going to make in that department. I know she loves Iowa City. She loves the program and the culture. I just wonder if after 2 years of not seeing a lot of playing time, if she's going to be willing to stick it out her junior and senior year. Even next year as a junior, she would still be playing behind Ava. That really gives her just her senior year for the paint to be hers, basically. But I don't want to lose her. She's 6'5". So much raw talent there. Hate to see her go to the transfer portal, so I'm hoping she gets some good minutes. And she makes a big leap this year. Last year, she did have a game where she had 20 points in a game. I know there's another game where she had a double-double. So the potential is definitely there. I think it's just a matter of getting playing time and trying to develop. It's hard to develop when you're not seeing the court at all. So really hoping Layla gets a good sophomore bump this year. Jocelyn Faison, once again, new face. Was not very familiar with her. I know she comes from Georgia, same as Danny Carnegie, and she's an interesting one. It's going to be a question of what exactly was it that Jan and her team saw in Jocelyn. Last year at Georgia, I think she only averaged maybe about 8 minutes a game, like 2 points a game out of 8 minutes. But she was just a freshman last year, so she's got 3 years ahead of her. And coming out of high school, I know she was a top 100 recruit coming out of high school. She's very long, very athletic, very long wingspan. So it sounds like there's a lot of potential there, and Jan obviously saw something. So it'll be interesting to see how she fits into things this year. And once again, she's got 3 more years ahead of her this year and 2 more. So, Bria Medina. This one is kind of a cool story. I'll be very interested to see how this unfolds. For those that don't know, Bria Medina comes to Iowa out of Division III. In Division III, she scored 24 points a game, 5 boards, 4 assists, 3 steals. So one of the leading scorers in all of Division III. She was the Midwest Conference Player of the Year. And she's another one that if you go on YouTube and check out some of her highlights videos, you'll be blown away. I was. So the biggest thing is just going to be to see how that Division III scoring, once again, what was it, 24 points a game last year in D3, just to see how that translates not only to Division I, but a major Division I program like Iowa. She comes into, and she is a senior this year. This is her last year. So hopefully she'll be able to gel in quick. And then last but not least, we have Alice Gromdahl. Also a very interesting one. She comes in as a freshman. She's 6 feet tall. She becomes the first Swedish player to ever play for the Hawkeye women. She played for something called RIG Luleås Swedish Academy, where the hell that is. Pretty modest, 6.5 points a game, 3 boards. From what I've watched, some of her videos, she can put the ball on the floor, pull up and shoot. She's got a great hezzy. She draws people in because of her shooting that can blow right past them. So it'll be interesting to see what Jan is able to do with her and how she develops. Once again, she is just a freshman, so. And I guess from there, I don't really have some kind of professional closing. Like I said, I've never done this before, my first kind of preview video. But like I said, I'm super, super excited to see how this team gels together. With half the team coming in is brand new to the hockey.